I met a gypsy.
That's fucking one gnarly thing about moto. Like, if you took like, I mean, just any like local fast guy, or you just go to a Glen Helen during winter when it's Supercross time and there's not that many pros out there, and you look at some of the dudes, you're like, they rip.
It's
And then
crazy.
you get on the track or like McAdoo or Tickle, and it's like, oh no, he actually rips. Like
That's what,
that dude's fucking slow, but they look so fast and so good.
it's like certain styles, like, dude, I mean, just for example, just Barsha. Like, you watch him ride, there
Like,
is
there's
no,
no one faster.
possible
Yeah,
way
no
that
one's
you could
faster.
ride a dirt bike faster than that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then guys do. And then they look like they're giving half as much effort. Me and my buddy were watching the last World Cup race the other day, and we were like, the downhill.
Yep,
And
yep,
we were
yep.
like, that's how, like, that Loic Bruni, he looks like, and he won by like 3 seconds when we were watching, and he looked like he was giving so less effort. Bike was working so easy, and he won by like 3 seconds. The other guys they're tucking the front, they're pushing so hard, and that's what I'm kind of better at that now. Like, I can, like, if
You
we go
can
out there,
see.
I can see that, and I can tell like guys that are just revving the piss out of their bike or whatever, and they
Yeah.
look like, you watch them, and it's like, dude, there is no like I go faster than that guy. I go 2 seconds a lap faster than that guy. Like, that
Yeah.
guy is ripping. And then
Yeah.
I go out there and just cruise and just, it's not even close. So that's what it is
I
weird
would,
like
I
that.
would love to know. If I ever get rich, I'm just gonna put like $10 million into like researching the brains of people like you and James. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, something is weird.
Yeah.
That you guys have that I don't have, but it feels the same.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm ripping at Glen Helen, I feel the same as when you're ripping at Glen Helen. The difference is one of us is actually ripping at Glen Helen and one of us is not, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, what is it? Is it in the eyes? Is it like, there's got to be something, because I'm sure it feels the same.
Yeah.
But whatever's going on in my brain is not going on in your brain.
Yeah. I mean, I have days like that too, though, that I'm like, there's days when I don't think, like, I'm like, there is, like, just the other day we were talking about, like, a lot of I did motos with Jason a lot this preseason.
Yeah.
And dude, like, he is so strong at the practice track, like, during the week. I'm like, there's no way that anybody will go, there's no way anybody should be faster than me on this track right now. I'm killing this track. And he's like a second faster. And I'm like, that's a lot on a Supercross track. And I'm like, dude, like, first off, I don't even understand how he's faster than me. But then how is he not winning every single race? Like,
Yeah.
which, I mean, whatever, it's practice track versus race. But that, like, there's days when I'm like, dude, like, I am ripping today and he's a second faster.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're just like, where, how,
where,
why?
how?
Like,
And I watch and I'm like, dude, like, I still am, I'm watching and I'm like, I don't get it. But then Rhino's like, well, he's a 10th faster there.
yeah.
And then he's half a 10th faster there.
Yeah.
And then he's 2/10 faster in the whoops. And then that's a second. And then it's like, it's not even like, unless you're really experienced. I mean, even if you are, it's hard. You can't even see the time. Like,
Yeah.
you can't even like see the, that's why that new like ghost thing that they started doing where they can like ghost drivers
so cool.
is sick,
Yeah.
especially for people who don't know that much, like who like are new to the sport or haven't been watching it for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Like
It helps.
religiously.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. So
There was Jet at the, like the big quad over thing that they had at Parla.
Yeah.
He was easy half a second faster.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was one of the only visible things where you could see. I think Supercross with whoops, like A1, that they had the two whoop sections,
Yeah.
and like you could actually see a bit of speed in whoops. I feel like the entry and the exit's pretty easy to see, and then also like where if there's a corner after, which
Yeah.
like normally there is, like what whoop are they chopping the throttle
Yeah.
to like decelerate, and but that big quad thing, like the way that he was going over that, there was easy half a second,
Yeah.
4/10 in
Yeah.
that, and it's so rare to actually be able to see that. And then you go to like fucking Formula One and MotoGP and shit, and you're just like, how? You cannot see
you
the
can't see
speed.
anything there. Like,
No.
and they're within hundreds, thousands of seconds. They qualified who at like the last F1 race tied for like second or third, like the first time
Oh,
ever, or it was first. It
yeah.
was the Mercedes driver,
It was
the
Russell.
younger one,
It was
and
Russell
Verstappen.
and Verstappen.
They tied
exactly
for first,
the same.
exactly the same,
Yeah.
the thousandth,
Yeah,
the same.
yeah,
That's like
yeah.
the third time that's ever happened. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, like
Well, I think
that's
Ricardo.
crazy.
I think Ricardo got 5th on the weekend in quali, and he was like nothing
Yeah.
away from pole.
Yeah.
But that stuff there, like, how do you see the speed? I guess the beauty of those tracks is that they're just tracks that
Yeah.
don't really change. Like,
Yeah.
grip levels come up and down, and temperature comes up and down, but like you kind of always have the ballpark of
Yeah.
like, this is how fast a car
Yeah.
can go around it. But for us, like, we just don't have that luxury. And the track gets better, like a bit of moisture. Like, what lap's the track going to be the best? Is it like 5, 6, 7?
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, one turn, one guy blowing
One
turn
turn.
out could be a second and a half just in one turn. Like if you go over the berm and you mess up and like you could lose a second and a half based off of if a lapper in front of you goes in
True.
and blows it out. And it's just like that. But that I have thought about that, like just how racing cars or how racing an on-road sport would be compared to like if it would be like if there's such a small difference to where it would be more stressful because you would have to be more consistent, or if it's just easier to be more consistent, so
Yeah,
it's
I don't
almost less
know.
stressful. So like I don't know how that would.
That's
like,
actually a fucking good question.
I've wondered like just how that would if you have to like just be locked in, so you're running within thousandths of a second every lap because you have to, or if you just do your thing and you're just within thousandths of a second every lap just because the track doesn't change and it's based on you slowly get slower as your tires wear out or whatever, but still you're a thousandth of a second, you're half a thousandth slower this lap than last lap because your just based off your tires or whatever. Like it's not really like I've wondered that just based off.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, because you guys can get to a point, and I feel maybe every moto dude, whether you're good or not good, like, I mean, I've had times where last year I was training for World Vets, and I did like 80 motos for the year, which for just a regular person, that's a lot of motos.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I felt really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, I felt so comfortable, and I felt like I could go fast.
Yeah.
And the things that I felt like I could max myself out in a sense. And I wonder how much that translates to like F1 or like what's a send feel like for Max Verstappen? Because it's like for you to send it, you've got to send it speed, and then you've got like a moto speed that's like a 30. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Like, are you just going in and fucking, like just knowing the exact amount of grip that you've got and just knowing the edge of your tire and the same? I'm sure that you do, but is it as raw as how it would feel to you?
Yeah.
Because it's so, I mean, you go to like any track, right? We brake at the 150. We brake at the 50. This is a third gear turn. This is a wide open turn.
Yeah.
This is a no lift turn. Like, everything is so like it's so in the zone,
and they know
in the
that
pocket.
before
Dude.
they like just show those guys like visualizing it, or they drive it on the simulator, and it's the same. Like it is the same. They're
Curbs
like, okay,
are the same height.
I'm third gear in this turn. This is a third gear turn all day. Fresh tires, old tires, doesn't matter. It's a third gear turn. This is a fourth gear turn every time. And I wonder if they actually just lock in with that, or if they actually use that data, or if they just go based off of feel. Because we just go based off of feel. Some guys like
there's no braking zones for you guys.
And
markers.
And Barsha, he can ride the bike in first or second gear and be super, super fast, where guys like Jed will ride the bike in fourth gear and lug it everywhere and be just as fast or faster. So it's like, and braking in different places, like, we all brake in generally the same area. Because that's where the braking bumps form is where we basically start braking. But that's it's not. Yeah,
it's not clinical.
I try to compare those, and I wonder, like, because everybody's like, oh, like, you think action sports or yeah, I guess what's the gnarliest motorsport, action sport, whatever, it's F1. Like that's just the pinnacle of pretty much any sports. Like that's just the top. Like those guys they get paid the most. Like that's the highest speeds, whatever. Like that's pretty much one of the gnarliest.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.